Good morning, Standard 10th. Since we completed chapter 1, so now I'll discuss the questions. Today I will only discuss the questions that I gave you all for your assignment. Before starting, let me inform you all about the marking scheme. So students, you all are already familiar with it, the marking scheme that we followed last year, that is 135. 1 mark questions, 3 marks questions and 5 marks questions will be asked for your exam, and accordingly you have to write the points. According to the marks you will write your answer. Also students, I told you all that you have to make 2 copies, one for your class notes and another one a thin copy for your homework copy, in which you will be writing your assignment questions. So students, in case you don't have your homework copies, then please do the assignment in some on some sheets, and when you are able to buy copies, then you can just staple it in that copy. Now let us start. So this table 1.1 you got as assignment 1, and 1 mark questions may come from this table. For example, out of these category of person, any one would be given, and then you will be asked to write the developmental goal for that. So the first 2 are done. So directly moving to the third one. Farmers who depend only on rain for growing crops. What will be the developmental goal for these farmers? So for them, the developmental goal could be to have good irrigation facilities. Now students, when you're going through these category of persons, try to catch the keyword. Here it is written that farmers who depend only on rain. So of course they need good irrigation facilities so that they can grow more, and then it could be also to get more profit from his or from their crops. Next one, a rural woman from a rural woman from a land owning family. So for her, the developmental goal could be to get good earning from the land by giving it on rent. Next one, urban unemployed youth. So this person is unemployed. So for him, the developmental goal could be to get a regular job with good income. Next, a boy from a rich urban family. So rich urban family, for him the developmental goal could be to go abroad for higher studies. And the last one, an Adivasi from Narmada Valley. So for this person, the developmental goal could be no social discrimination or proper education and health facilities. Now these are few answers that I have written. If you have written anything different and you want your answers to be checked, you can send your answer to me. You can text it to me on Campus Care, and we can have a discussion. Apart from that table, you all also got these questions for your assignment. So let us have a look at it. The first question is that different people of urban area have different developmental goals. Now students, this question may come for 1 mark, and it is related with the first feature of developmental goal. So you will write an example showing that 2 people of urban area have different developmental goals. Please be careful while writing. It should be different, not conflicting. Next question, what is development? Write 3 features of developmental goals. So this question may come for 5 marks. The definition of development you all have written in notes, and the features also you all have written in your notes. If not, then the features it's given on page number 5 and 6. Please go through these pages, you'll get the answer. Next question, give some examples where factors other than income are important aspects of our lives. 1 mark question. Students, we have studied that for quality of life we need materialistic plus non-materialistic things. So what are the non-materialistic things that we require? We need respect, freedom or job security apart from income. So pick any two out of these, and you can frame your answer according to it. The examples, few examples are given on page number 5 and 6 of NCERT. Please go through it to find the answer. Moving ahead. Question number 4. Do the following 2 statements mean the same? Justify your answer. Students, this question carries 3 marks, and here 2 statements are given, and you have to write whether these 2 statements mean the same or not, and if yes, then why, or not, then why. You have to justify your answer. So the first point that you will write is that both the statements are true, but their meanings are different. This means that both the statements doesn't mean the same, don't have the same meaning. Then you will explain the first feature with the help of an example. First feature of developmental goal, because that is written in the first statement, that people have different developmental goal. Then you will explain the second statement, that is the second feature of developmental goal, with the help of an example. And then finally you will conclude your answer by writing that from the above 2 points we can say that different developmental goals need not be conflicting. It is not necessary that one's developmental goal will be destructive for the other person, and at times it can be destructive also. So accordingly you will frame your answer. Moving ahead to question number 5. Why do different persons have different notions of development? Choose the correct option. So here you just have to choose the correct option. So this question may carry 1 mark. Now suppose if the question also asks for justification, then it may carry 3 mark or 1 mark also. So the statements are statement A, because people are different, and B, because life situations of persons are different. So one student has already asked this question and I discussed, but then again, so students, different people have different notions of development because life situations of persons are different. This will be the correct answer. Let me explain this question with the help of a very simple example. Suppose 2 people are going in 2 different directions. And if I ask you all that why these 2 persons are going in different direction, you will not tell me that ma'am because these are 2 different people. But you will tell me that ma'am, one has work in this direction and the other one has work in the other direction. That's why he has taken that route. So similarly, students, people have different notions of development because of course they are 2 different individuals. But then their developmental goal is set according to the situations that they are facing in their life. So the most apt and the correct answer for this question will be that people have different notions of development because life situation of persons are different. And with time, when the situations change in their life, accordingly their developmental goals also change. Ahead to assignment 3. So the first question that you all got was, why do we use averages? Are there any limitations to their use? Illustrate with your own examples related to development. Now this question has 3 parts, so 3 points and 3 marks. So students, why do we use averages? Remember, we studied the disadvantage of total income. So from the disadvantage of total income, we got the point that why we should use averages. So this is given on page number 8. Please go through it. Are there any limitations to their use? So yes, we cannot use averages, or we should not use averages because it hides disparities. And then you have to explain this point, that it hides disparities, with the help of your own example. So you will frame your own example, but if you want to refer one, then one example is given on page number 9. So these 3 points will be your answer. Moving ahead to question number 2. What is the main criterion used by the World Bank in classifying different countries? What are the limitations of this criterion, if any? So on page number 8, we studied about World Development Report, and in that it's given that it is issued by World Bank and it uses per capita income for classifying different countries. Now what are the limitations of using this per capita income? So the first limitation is that it hides disparities. That is, although the country may be rich, there may not be equal distribution of income. A small number of people may be extremely rich and the masses may be poor. So hence, while average income is useful for comparison, it does not tell us how this income is distributed. That means it hides disparities. For example, you can refer to NCERT page number 9. And then the last point will be that it covers only the economic aspect, ignoring important factors such as health and education. About this, we studied under the topic income and other criteria that is given on page number 10. So students, these are the points. Keeping these points in mind, please frame your answer. So question number 3, you all got this sum for your assignment. So the question says that assume there are 4 families in a country. So what is the population of the country? 4. The average per capita income of these families is rupees 5,000, and the per capita income is also given, that is rupees 5,000. Now the income of 3 families is given, that is rupees 4,000, rupees 7,000 and rupees 3,000 respectively, and we have to find the income of the 4th family. So students, this is a very simple sum. Still, I have written the solution here. So we all know that per capita income is equals to total income by total population. So what is the per capita income? 5,000. That will be equal to total income, and the total income of this country will be the total income of these 4, the sum of the total income of these 4 families. So it will be 4,000 plus 7,000 plus 3,000 plus x. Because we don't know the total income of the 4th family, so we have written x by 4. 4 is the total population. So you will solve this and then you will get the answer. Moving ahead to the next assignment. So students, you got this question for your assignment 4. The question is that Kerala with lower per capita income has a better human development ranking than Haryana. Hence, per capita income is not a useful criterion at all and should not be used to compare states. Do you agree? Discuss. This question carries 3 marks. Students, of course, we don't agree with this statement that per capita income should not be used at all, but it should be used with other criteria to compare countries. So keeping these points, so accordingly you will write the answer, but I have written few points here, what will be the sequence of the points. So the first point will be, you will write that no, I don't agree, and then you will write that World Bank uses per capita income for classifying countries, and then but then this criterion has certain limitations. Then in the next point you will write the advantage of using this criterion, that it is an important criterion because it tells us that on average what an individual is likely to earn in a country, and that amount gives us some idea about the living standard of the citizens of that country. And then in the last point you will write that HDI ranks countries using this criterion along with other criteria such as education and health. And so per capita income is one of the important criteria and cannot be ignored completely. Rather, it should be used with other criteria. Moving ahead, you all also got these questions for your assignment. Question number 2, development of a country can generally be determined by its per capita income, next its average literacy rate, health status of its people, or all of the above. So in the previous question only we discussed that per capita income along with health and education should be used to compare countries. So the answer for this question will be all of the above. Next question, in which state infant mortality rate is lowest in India? It's given on page number 10 and the answer is Kerala. Next question, which state in India has the lowest literacy rate? The answer is Bihar. Now students, these questions are objective type questions and these carry 1 mark each. So we'll stop here and the other assignments we'll discuss in next class. Also, I'll discuss few NCERT questions in the next class. So that's all for today. Thank you, students.